It gives me great pleasure to give the honourable member for Chisholm the call.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise to say in relation to International Women's Day that it's extraordinary that those on the other side of the House convey that the government doesn't stand up or support women when one of their own, a very close ally of the Labor Party and leader of the opposition, Bill Shorten, says that laws which people don't like can be broken. I rise to say it's extraordinary. Last week, the new leader and secretary of the ACTU, Sally McManus, made the following statement on the 7:30 report, albeit she clumsily tried to clarify it later. I believe the rule of law, where the law is fair and the law is right, but when it's unjust, I don't think there's a problem with breaking it. Similarly, Kaiser Trad, the president of the Australian Federation of Islamic Councils, conceded in a TV interview it's okay for a man to use violence against a woman if he's tried counselling first. Particularly given the context of his high office in the Islamic community, it's disturbing that he also clearly has no regard for Australian law, as in saying what he said. He was effectively saying that domestic violence against a woman, albeit a crime and a law, can be broken. The Leader of the Opposition tried to distance himself from the comments of Sally McManus and de-link his reported lifetime link and enduring bond with her and the unions. But they trained together to be union organisers, just as being bonded friends with union officials. Breaking laws is not a foreign concept to the CFMEU, their predecessors before them, the BLF, whose business model was violence and thuggery, and their Labor Party colleagues. I personally have been a victim of assault by trade union officials. They have been charged with over 100 assaults, many of them of a sexual and harassment nature, many of them against women. This is one of the fundamental reasons, Deputy Speaker, the Turnbull government worked hard and in fact did restore the Australian Building and Construction Commission to stand out the lawlessness of such violence of the union officials of the CFMEU and the like. McManus also says it's silly for women to wear dresses and heels, and yet she also says that she was an advocate for women being able to wear burqas. The hypocrisy and simplistic code of people such as McManus and those on the other side is typical of their attitudes that women in Australia can wear heels and dresses. What they need to understand is women in Australia can wear heels and dresses because they want to. Contrarily, although some Australian women wear the burqa because they want to, reportedly some wear it because they fear they have to, under the auspices of the elements of Sharia law, elements of which have sadly crawled in behind closed doors of Australian homes, such as forcing women to cover up, forcing them to marry, or if not, they face the reality of violence or, tragically, honour killings or the like. The Turnbull government's principles of liberalism are about freedom, equal opportunity, regardless of gender, and these are principles which are underpinned by all people abiding by the Australian rule of law. Sally McManus now has a huge share of voice as the Secretary of the ACTU, together with Bill Shorten, a long-time friend and puppet of these unions and union officials. Kaiser Trad similarly has a significant share of voice as a leader of the Muslim community. Both have effectively said that they believe Australian laws can be broken if they consider them unfair or unjust. Deputy Speaker, the Australian rule of law is paramount. Endorsing breaking laws by one group, be that the CFMEU or leaders have a high share of voice, encourages lawlessness by others. This runs the risk of breaking the very fabric of our society and all the progress and laws embraced and implemented by our government to support women. Under the leadership of our Prime Minister and our Minister for Women, Michaelia Cash, the Turnbull government have made many laws and will always support laws which ensure equality and respect for women. Laws to stop the sources of domestic violence, violence and assault against women, and industrial and employment laws to protect Australian women and ensure equal opportunity. Australian laws, Deputy Speaker, the fundamental core of our democracy, and laws which no man or woman is above, including Sally McManus and the unions. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.